78-year-old Sheikh Hasina Wajid is once again in India. In her second exile, she is a fugitive convicted in absentia to death by a court in Dhaka for crimes against humanity. The ousted Prime Minister of Bangladesh has been barred from contesting. Her party, Awami League, is banned under Anti-Terrorism Act. Night before the verdict, in an audio message to her supporters, Sheikh Hasina has already rubbished all charges brought against her.
আপনারা জানেন যে সেই কোর্টে চিফ প্রসিকিউটর আমার বিরুদ্ধে যে সমস্ত অভিযোগ এনেছে তা সবই তো মিথ্যা। একটা কোর্টে দাঁড়িয়ে কেউ যদি মিথ্যা অভিযোগ দেয় তা তার বিরুদ্ধে কিন্তু মামলা হয় এবং একসময় হবে। তবে এই কোর্টটাও তো অবৈধ, কারণ 1973 সালে পার্লামেন্টে আইন পাশ করে যুদ্ধ অপরাধীদের বিচারের জন্য এটা করা হয়েছিল।
In June 2024, students of Bangladesh erupted in protest against the Supreme Court of Bangladesh's decision to reinstate the 30% reservation quota for descendants of freedom fighters. This reversed the earlier government decision to remove this reservation in response to the quota reform movement of 2018. When students refused to back down, Sheikh Hasina, in one of her public addresses, accused them as Razakar descendants. The use of the most hated word in Bangladesh, Razakar, meaning those who helped the perpetrators against the freedom fighters during Bangladesh's Mukti Juddho, made students' protests grow in intensity. If the grandchildren of Mukti Jodha can't qualify for reservation, is it to be given to Razakars? Hasina's government allegedly let police and security forces violently crack down on protests, leading to the death and imprisonment of hundreds. The death of the 25-year-old Abu Said from Rokeya University in Rangpur became a symbol of the protest as he stood in defiance, spreading his hands, inviting police to open fire on him. He was shot at and declared brought dead in the hospital. The student protest became anti-Hasina and aimed at ousting her from power.
Here the most sensitive thing is the matter of the students. We must make sure that they won't get harmed. We have tried by the efforts of our police and all our forces. When arson started, the protesting students said they were not involved in it, and we condemn it. We don't want it. When they pulled off from the protest, I deployed the army. Only then did I deploy them. I did not do it before that, before the students pulled off from the protest. Many accuse me of deploying army against the students. I myself was involved in student politics. My politics started from Dhaka University. I know what the army could do. Shabir, the student wing of the Jamaat-e-Islam, BNP, and Jamaat together are behind all these incidents and murders.
Dhaka turned into a battleground. And finally, on 5th August 2024, Sheikh Hasina had to flee Dhaka and seek refuge in India. When asked if she wants to do things differently in a text interview to India Today from an undisclosed location, the exiled and now convicted Bangladesh Prime Minister did agree that she failed to read the emotions of the students. She said, and I quote, "Every leader with the benefit of hindsight can identify decisions they might have approached differently. Looking back, I recognize that certain grievances, particularly around government job quotas, could have been addressed through more extensive dialogue and engagement. We had mechanisms in place for this, as we had shown in the past, but perhaps we could have acted more swiftly. If the situation had not deteriorated, we would also have been able to complete the independent inquiry we launched immediately after the first casualties. This was extinguished by Yunus when he seized power. But I regret that we were not able to give the bereaved families of those who tragically lost their lives the answer they deserve. Sadly, the so-called investigations that have been undertaken by the interim government have just been scapegoating exercises aimed at discrediting the Awami League for narrow political purposes." Unquote. Sheikh Hasina was once celebrated as the torchbearer of democracy in Bangladesh. But her 15 years as the Prime Minister has been tarnished with the blood of innocent students, and the septuagenarian leader stands at the worst crossroad of her life today. With everything that she, her father, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, her party Awami League had built since Bangladesh was formed, is now being dabbed in black by her fellow countrymen, to be marked out in Bangladesh's history as the darkest of all. Bureau Report, India Today.